you've been in networking for any length of time, you may have experienced the fact that some people will join really all excitement and then they won't follow through. At some point they decide, after all, it's not the right thing for them to do. And there's plenty of good and valid reasons to that, and there's no hard feelings. But what we can do as uplines is not become one of the reasons for our team to quit. Okay, so I have a few tips, or actually I have one common mistake that I've definitely been guilty of and that I'm still improving on to not make again. So I hope my tips today are going to be valuable for you as well today. Hello and welcome. I'm excited you're here. My name is Katrin from bloomwithkatrin.com. I'm coming live to you from Austria today, so please don't be shy. Whether you're tuning me live or later on the replay, say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from so I can circle back around and say hi to you personally. Looking forward to that, because I'm here to serve you, to help you take your business into the online space, create sustainable success here, and enjoy the journey towards that success that we're all working towards. And obviously making mistakes that we could avoid in the role of an upline is something we definitely want to do, don't we? So let's dive on in and let me know whether you've ever experienced this as well, because I know this has definitely happened to me. So when I first got signed up with my first company, I had at the beginning a very intense upline connection, I would say. So she was very much trying to push me into doing things I wasn't ready to do. And then when things had shifted and I was finally open to learning more, I could no longer reach her. So I'd ask her questions and I wouldn't get anything back, right? It would take forever to get a response from her. Let me know whether you can relate to this. So I think that's a main problem. And she did get back to me eventually and we did sort things out. But what used to happen quite a bit for her was she got overwhelmed, right? She made promises like, I'm gonna get back to you tomorrow, whenever, and then it would take 2 weeks. And that's just not being a very good captain, I should say, right? It didn't feel like she was really having my back, if that makes sense. Let me know whether you can relate. And this is not to blame her for anything, not at all, right? This is absolutely also on me. But when we are in that position of being the upline, which happens when you sign up your first customer or your first team member, congratulations, right? And that is when you become an upline. And now especially when you've had maybe not the best upline experience with your own upline, I think it's an important way of thinking about it, of thinking, okay, what's happened to me on the receiving end? And how do I want to show up for my team, right? Maybe also learn potentially from mistakes that our own uplines have made. Okay, let me know whether you can relate to this, and maybe if you want to share like your I'm gonna do this differently story, okay? Because I think that's very valuable for all of us, okay? So feel free to drop that down below. So that's definitely one thing that we can avoid, that is making promises that we know we won't be able to keep. Okay, also not responding to messages for longer, I should say, than 48 hours to a week. I think that's way too long. Let me know whether you can relate. And it doesn't really matter to me, in my opinion, whether that's in a group chat. Maybe you have a group chat for your team, so they can ask questions, and you or even other people, you know, their cross lines can help them out. And if that's not happening, that's not really, I think, a very good way of showing people that you actually care and have their back. Now, by all means, we're all human, okay? We all are human, and it's definitely happened to me as well. It's something I'm striving for, to get back to my team within at least 48 hours, but especially with me, you know, building internationally, globally, with all the time differences, it can be a bit of a challenge, right, to get back really like within a few hours, but I'm definitely striving to do that. Okay, and here's one thing, talking to other leaders, I hear that quite a bit. Yeah, actually, you know what, I don't even try to get back within the first 24 hours because I want my team to figure things out. And there's value when it comes to, because there are people like they have a question that pops up in their mind and the first thing they do is send you a message, right? That's not really the kind of team culture you want to establish, because that's creating yourself a job, right? But on the other hand, I think it's also important to really have our people feel, hey, I got your back. Yes, I'm going to help you get resourceful, 100%, so you don't have to contact me for each and every little question that comes up. But I also want my team to feel that, hey, I've got your back, right? So when you have a question that you can't figure out for yourself, just know that I'm always striving to be there for you within the next 24 hours at least. So that's what I'm striving towards. Let me know, drop it down below what you're striving towards. I'd be curious to know. And then one thing that I hear quite often from coaching calls that really pains me and saddens me to hear is, yeah, my upline does reach out to me once a month, like, you know, around the 23rd, 25th of the month, just to figure out and see where I'm at with my volume, so they can keep their rank, or they can rank advanced, right? Have you ever been on the receiving end of that experience? I mean, seriously, we can do better than this, okay? I think it's a great thing to reach out to the people you've personally enrolled once a month, see how they're going, and also, you know, just be present in their life, be top of mind, remind them, hey, I'm here for you, I'm here to help you out. What's something I might help you with? But I encourage on my team to do that around the middle of the month, so you don't get to that mode of desperation kind of towards the end of the month, where it's easy to feel, hey, the only reason she reaches out to me is to see whether I'm doing the work, kind of like for her, to some degree as well, right? So and also another thing that I find very important is to think about creating a system for your newbies on your team, potentially as well for newbies on social media, to help them have something that they can work with without having to call you or having to message you every day and you having to train everybody one-on-one, because that can be a bit of a time suck, right? So I think that would be an important one as well. And I was really aghast in my previous company how many leaders were told me, hey, I don't need that because I have enough newbies who make it, and those who don't, it's kind of like on them, right? So to me, especially for the newbies in our industry, the newbies on our company, on my team, they get like a lot of attention. They have a great system in place for them. They can plug themselves into. Okay, and I think that's very important to really have something in place like that. So here's a few do's that I would recommend to really let your team members feel that you care about them, which you do, I'm sure, right? And that you actually also have their back. Part of it is learning new skills, right? If what you've been doing on social media, maybe you're a huge leader already, right? Maybe you have a following where many people know, like, and trust you. So things that you do on social media might not necessarily work for somebody who's brand new to this space, right? So up your game there a little bit. If you need you know, a good starting point, drop starting point down below, and I'm happy for you to take a look or send you over a 10-day online recruiting boot camp that you can also provide your newbies with, right? So they know how to get started on social media in this day and age, so they can be as effective and as successful as they possibly can, okay? And also when it comes to being a good captain, that's one thing, right? Having a system in place, training your people, give them what they need so they can succeed, that's one thing. The other thing is also being available for them. Okay, and when I say available, I don't mean like you're doing a live video and there's a lead on your team asking you a question and you interrupt the live video, so, you know, just so you can answer them right away. So I hope you get what I mean here, right? I don't think it's a good thing, and it's not a team culture that I would want on my team. Drop it down below how you feel about this. I'd be curious to see. Like, yes, it's important to be available and to make sure that people know that they can contact you, but also respect your boundaries, right? Especially when you build an international team with the time zone differences like I am. For me, it's important to know for myself, okay, these are the times that I'll you know, get into my messenger with my team and see whether there's questions that I can help answer and give clarity on. And also, obviously, it's awesome, right, to have a growing team where many cross-line interaction happens as well, and people help each other out. That's very, very powerful. I'm so grateful I'm on a team like that. But obviously, have a slot in your day every day maybe. And maybe you, if you can, tell your people these are the times when you can reach me personally, when I'll be live, when I'm available for you guys. Okay, so people know, okay, when I send you a message on Tuesday at 10 a.m. your time zone, I have a good chance of getting a response right away. And if it's like, you know, Wednesday midnight your time zone, well, it might take a few hours, but that doesn't mean that you don't care. Okay, so I hope this is making sense. Let me know. And when it comes to doing your care calls, I definitely recommend you do them. I touched on it already a little bit before. You definitely want to do a care call with the people you've enrolled personally once a month. And also, and as I said, I wouldn't do those in the last week of the month, but I would start doing that like round about the 10th of the month, right? Depending on the size of your team, obviously. And I would, especially when you're leading a bigger team already, do it with your personally enrolled, because that's a beautiful thing that's going to duplicate into the ranks, right? So you lead the way, you create the team culture, and the leaders who appreciate that, being on the receiving end, can do this amazing work for their team as well. Okay, so you always have people reaching out to one another, making sure that everybody's in tune with what's going on, with what's happening, maybe promo wise, etc. That's important. But also ask them, hey, what's happening in your life? How are things, right? What's going on? Is there something I might help you with? And what I will do in the last week of the month as a special service to my personally enrolled builders is I'm going to go into the back office and I'm going to have a look, hey, who's close to potentially hitting the next rank? And I will give them a call, maybe send them a voice message, depending on our time zone differences, telling them, hey, are you aware? Have you looked? Check it out. Are there people I might help you talk with, right? Definitely. But that's not a, hey, I need you to do this, that, or the other thing for me. But I'm like reaching out and providing that kind of help that I wish I had for a very long time in my journey. Okay, let me know whether this makes sense and is helpful to you. And to sum it all up, I guess the most important thing really is, especially when your own upline experience wasn't without mistakes, is learn from them. Okay, don't hold a grudge. Tell your upline maybe, you know, what you would have needed differently so they can improve. And also for yourself, be that leader you wish you'd had, especially in the beginning. Okay, so I think that's a very good guideline really to direct us on our journeys. Let me know whether this makes sense, and if you go, well, this sounds like a lot of work, Katrin, I really don't know when I'm going to fit that one in. I've put together a 3-strategy guide. It's 11 pages, like a 15-minute read, that holds my best 3 strategies to not be a hot mess building a business on social every single day, moving the needle forward. And it's going to help you growing your business bigger with investing less of your precious lifetime, which will never come back, and enjoying the journey more. So if that's something you resonate with, drop strategies down below. Once I'm home tonight, I'm also going to add the link so you can go and check it out for yourself. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope this was valuable, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next training. All the best from Katrin, and enjoy implementing, because that's how we change lives. All the best. Bye.